Woo! This is homework number 8 for ELO 1. Homework number 8 for ELO 1. Here we go. It's graphing inequalities. So we want to take an equation, and instead of making it an equation, we're going to make it an inequality with the less than or greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to symbols. Okay? This right here would be less than. Okay? Less than. And I want to show you that on this example right here, the first thing you want to do is you want to graph y equals 1 first. So on your Alex, you want to graph y equals 1, which is right here. It's a horizontal line at y equals 1. The reason that it's a horizontal line like this is because y has to be 1, which means you can't go above 1 or below 1. Okay? So on your Alex, you're going to take your line tool at y equals 1, and then the red line right here is going up and down. That doesn't work. You have to do y equals 1. So anytime you have just a y, it means the line goes side to side. Okay, now, this less than symbol means you have to make the line dashed. So you want to take this dash tool right here, click on the dot, or click on the graph, and it's going to make it dashed. Okay, the reason we do that is because the y value cannot equal 1 for this. It has to be less than 1. Okay, now, anything less than 1 would be below 1, so we have to shade below 1. That would be our answer. Okay. Let's skip to number 2. So number 2 is talking about an x value now. So it's the same process. It's the same process. We have x being negative 4. So x is negative 4 right there. Okay, right here. And then we want to make a line. We want to make a line where x is always negative 4. So that would be when the line goes straight up and down. Straight up and down. Okay? Now, on this question, we have a greater than symbol. Greater than symbol. Okay, so this would be greater. So any number that's greater than negative 4 needs to be bigger than negative 4. So we want to shade to the right of that graph. Like that. Okay. Oh, it's wrong. What did I do wrong? Let's figure it out. I love that. That's actually good. So this might happen to you guys on your work. So I made a mistake. I love this. This is good. So we have x is greater than negative 4. And what did I do wrong? Ah, I see. Because it's a greater than symbol, x cannot be negative 4. So you actually have to take your dash tool and make your line dashed. Okay, we have to dash that line. The reason is because x can't be negative 4. So let's check it again. Nice. That's the great thing about Alex. It lets you know, like, if you get it wrong, you can fix it, right? You can look at your work and try to figure out what you did wrong. All right. Here is number 4. Okay. We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to graph that line right there. So if I left that line, I get negative 2. There's the line. It's less than. I will dash it. And since it's less than, we're going to be below. Okay. All right. I went fast there. If you need help, let me know. All right. Number 7. Can I get a different one, actually? Let's see. Number 7. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do this one. Okay, so this one is y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 4. So when you make your line right here, there we go. So we have plus 4 minus x. Okay, so there's our line. For this line, you would actually keep the line solid because the symbol right here is greater than or equal, which means that the y value can equal negative x plus 4. For example, right here on the graph, that'd be 4 comma 0. 4 comma 0. So if y is a 0, we get greater than or equal to negative 4 plus 4. And 0 is greater than or equal to 0 would be true. Okay? If this wasn't there, then that would be false. Okay? But with the line there, it's true. Okay, so that's why we keep our line solid. And then we want to be greater than, so we need to be above it. Okay, number 9. Now it gets a little complicated. So, one thing you could do on these questions is you can graph it with 2 points like you always would. Okay, so I get 0, comma, -2, and 1, comma, 2. How did I get that? If you don't know how I got these 2 points, I plugged in the x values 0 and 1 in place of x, and I solved for the y. And then that's actually going to be where I graph my line. So 0, comma, -2, 1, comma, 2. Okay, and there's my line. Now, on these questions, I need to check to see which region I'm going to graph, which region I'm going to shade. So I either need to shade this region or this region. I don't know yet, okay? Based on the inequality, you would think it'd be this region. So we have to check. Okay, here's how you check. You're going to check by checking the point 0, comma 0 in the equation. Okay? So if x is a 0, we get 0 plus 0 is less than or equal to -2. We get 0 is less than -2. Okay. 0 is not less than -2, which means that 0, comma 0 being on the top side of the graph is not going to be shaded. The other side will be shaded. So we'll shade this side. Okay? Let's check it. Okay, correct. Nice. That's awesome. Last one, number 10. Okay, last one. We got this equation. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 points. 2 points, 0, comma 1. Okay, made the x a 0, divided by -3 on both sides. Okay, my second point, I'm going to make the x a 3. Okay, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make the y a 0. I'm going to make the y a 0. Because that's going to get rid of this term right here. I get -x being -3, which means x is 3. Okay? Now, there's my 2 points. I need to graph them. There it is. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to look at our symbol. Symbol is greater than, so we need to dash our line. And then what we need to do is we need to figure out if 0, comma 0 is a solution on this graph. So right here, we have 0 is greater than -3, which is true, which means we're going to shade that side of the graph, the side with 0, 0 on it. When it's false, you want to shade the other side. Okay, this one's a tricky one because it says greater than. It says greater than, which means you would think at the top part of the graph would be shaded, but it's the bottom. So you always want to check with 0, 0 to see which side is shaded. Okay, you want to see which side has 0, 0 as the solution. If it doesn't have a solution of 0, 0, then that means the other side of the graph needs to be shaded. Okay, one way you can also think of this is if you see a greater than symbol and you have a negative y value right here, that means that you're going to have to flip the symbol if you were solving for y. Okay? Anyways, I hope this helps. Let me know if you need any extra help.